Why is it so hard for people to stay off their phones during the movies? Or not talk? Queen and Slim is directed by Melina Matsoukas, written by Lena Waithe, and stars Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner-Smith. Queen and Slim tells the story of a couple who is on the run after accidentally killing a cop in self-defense. This movie piqued my interest because it looked like it was going in a different direction than similar movies, and by similar I mean movies that touched on police brutality, the killing of black people by police officers. And in this one, they showed what would happen if they didn't die, if they actually got the better of the person and got away, right? And the whole premise is them on the run from the law and seeing the other people in the community kind of treating them as heroes. And I felt like this movie had a lot of potential to do something really unique with the story. And of course, there were some great people behind it, including Lena Waithe and Daniel Kaluuya. So yeah, I was looking forward to this one. Now, it was fine, but I don't think it fully reached that potential that I was talking about. There's some things that really worked for me and some things that really didn't. So this is a mixed bag for me of a movie. And so let's get into it. What worked? First thing for me that really stood out was the soundtrack. There's a lot of great R&B, hip hop, and even some gospel in there. And I thought the music was definitely one of the most engaging parts of it. There was even somebody in my theater kind of dancing along, and I was like, you know what, this is what I want to feel in a movie. You know, like the soundtrack needs to complement what's happening. It needs to make you feel a different way, and I feel like this soundtrack accomplished that. Next up, performances. I thought performances were pretty good across the board. Now, not all of them worked for me, but I would say most of them pretty much nailed it. For me, the ones that stood out were Daniel Kaluuya and Bokeem Woodbine, who played Slim and Queen's uncle. Daniel Kaluuya was very carefree with his character, very level-headed and determined, while Queen's character was more cautious and guarded. And you saw the dynamic between them really growing, the relationship between them growing, the walls kind of breaking down as they got closer. But I think between the two of them, I feel like Daniel Kaluuya did better with that. And then Queen's uncle, who was just very wild, and he brought a lot of comedy, but also a lot of drama to the movie too, because you see a little more about his relationship with her and their family as a whole, and it gives you a better idea of where both of them, Queen and her uncle, have come from, their past. Now, I don't think they fully explored as much as they could have, but for what we got, I think I did get a good sense of their dynamic, and I thought both their performances really did help with that. Now, Jodie Turner-Smith, as far as I could see, this was her first starring role in a movie, and her performance was fine. I think she got better as it went on. After a certain point, you really did see her kind of emote more. You kind of saw her really get into it, and the drama was there, the suspense was there, the happiness sometimes too. Like, even though this was like a very crazy, like, suspenseful movie, it's also moments where they take time to slow down and just enjoy the moment, which I thought was nice. That brings me to the next point, tension, which was done really well in this movie. There was a lot of suspenseful scenes where you didn't know if they were going to get caught, you didn't know if they were going to make it out of a certain situation, and I thought that was done well. There were times that was really tensed up, especially towards the end, and those scenes were done really well, and I think that's what really kept me intrigued with the movie too, not just the drama, but also the moments where you don't know what's going to happen, and you're kind of scared for these characters. Another thing I appreciate is that this situation was handled in a realistic way, in the sense that we're in the age of social media, right? So their pictures, once this thing happened, they were on the run, everybody knew what they looked like. So it was like no one was really surprised or fooled when they try to change their appearance. Like, everybody knows exactly who they were. And I thought that was smart, because I feel like in a lot of situations in movies, you see people on the run and they're just hiding in plain sight, but no one notices anything, which is weird, because especially now with the internet being so big, their pictures could be anywhere in the US, anywhere in the world, and people would probably know who they are. So that part made a lot of sense to me. What could have been better? I think, again, there was a lot of potential here in terms of the story and what was happening. Now, I don't think they fully explored that potential. There are some things that were brought up in the beginning, some topics that were brought up in the beginning that weren't necessarily touched on or wrapped up in the end. There was some clunky dialogue here and there. And then there were some weird scenes where people did things that wouldn't make sense in the situation, you know what I mean? And it just was kind of, it took me out of it because it wasn't realistic. There were also some weird creative choices in terms of editing, where certain scenes were juxtaposed with each other, but why these two scenes were together didn't necessarily make sense. I don't want to give away too many details. I feel like those things could have been tidied up a little bit, and that would have really made it a stronger, cohesive movie. The verdict. As I said, this movie was a mixed bag for me. I think they did a lot of great things here, but there are also some weird scenes. So overall, I would say that Queen and Slim is a great time. Now, I didn't love every aspect of the movie, but I do think they did a lot of great things here. And as a first project for a lot of people in this movie, I think it was unique, and I thought it did accomplish a lot of great things in the storytelling and in the character development. I just think there were some logistical things here and there that could have been done a little bit better. So have you seen Queen and Slim? What did you think? Let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.